CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Friday, February 13th. Police in North Bay now confirm remains found on Mulligan Street earlier this week are that of a missing 62-year-old man. The man, only identified as Pierre, hadn't been seen since January 30th. Investigators say the body found February 9th on Mulligan Street has been identified as Pierre. The death is suspicious, but police have not provided any more information. Another body was found the same day, but police do not believe the two cases are connected. A 41-year-old Sault Ste. Marie man charged with sexually assaulting two inmates at the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center while he was employed there has been charged with several more offenses. It was last October when the suspect had been charged with 4 offenses after a police investigation found he had allegedly sexually assaulted 2 inmates while he was employed at the center. Sault police say further investigation has identified 3 more victims and more incidents involving breaches of trust as a public officer, indecent acts, and sexual assaults. All right, moving now to the weather. A big part of the region is getting snow, but the temperatures aren't all that bad. For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Tony, I have no fear of triskaidekaphobia, Friday the 13th, and take a look at the forecast. Yes, we had snow today, but it's going to get better for the weekend. Systems map, courtesy of CAA. Get your membership today at CAA. Once the snow really dissipates in the Northeast, it'll get better in time for the weekend. We'll get some sunny breaks, some cloud. Predominantly cloudy weather for the most part tomorrow, but some areas will get some sunny breaks, and the temperatures will warm up, particularly on Sunday, continuing into Monday and Tuesday. We'll take a look at some of those numbers and a lot more as we roll into a long weekend for a lot of people because it's Family Day come Monday. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. It's winter and sometimes it's slick out there. There were more than double the number of collisions in Greater Sudbury last month than last January. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
Sharon Marchione has been a driving instructor for 8 years. She demonstrates how long it takes to stop in this parking lot on snow with studded tires.
You see a little bit of my tracks here where before she came to a full stop. And I had her up to 46 kilometers an hour when I hit the brake.
Marchione says winter driving comes down to 3 words.
Winter driving is extremely unpredictable. It comes down to me, 3 things: planning, positioning, and patience.
Greater Sudbury police say last month the number of collisions was more than double January of 2025.
This year, we did see a report of over 1,000 collisions in Greater Sudbury in comparison to around 420 collisions reported in 2025. The majority of these collisions were minor in nature and were as a result of individuals following too closely during poor weather or road conditions.
Back in the driving instructor's car, Marchione says the length of distance it takes to stop your vehicle has to have reaction time and braking distance.
Even if it looks like you have bare pavement, in the warmer weather that we're expecting over the next couple of weeks, we are going to have higher indicators of black ice.
She says some drivers with experience tend to get overconfident.
We drive a little too fast, and we forget sometimes that we have a lot of new Canadians who have never seen snow before. And they have no idea of the impact, no pun intended, that driving improperly on the snow can have when they're driving.
Marchione says driving safely on the roads in Northern Ontario requires winter tires. Alan Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
As you're driving, you have to watch the other motorists and also avoid the potholes that are starting to appear. CTV's Madison Merrier has more from Sudbury.
Small crews have been out in the community doing what they can to patch visible potholes before the thaw comes into full effect.
Over the winter, we have supervision on 24 hours a day, and they're patrolling roads and looking for problems on the road. So they're identifying potholes as they come up. The pothole crews, as we find problems, will dispatch the crews to go repair them.
I haven't had a lot of concerns. I think from things that I've seen on social media that people are relatively pleased that they're seeing the crews out in advance and so much earlier than we're used to.
Rocca is recommending people report potholes to 311. It's not assumed the city knows about them, especially as the weather gets warmer during the coming months.
With potholes, we really just have to see what happens. Though it'll really depend on how many freeze-thaw cycles we have over the winter. Every time it gets warm during the day and that snow melts and water gets into the cracks in the road, at night when it gets cold again, it starts to freeze and it pops the asphalt and we create potholes.
In the past, the city has purchased the Python 5000 in hopes of making road construction quicker and easier. However, since its purchase in 2021, the machine has presented some issues.
We've had some challenges in keeping it on the road, so we're at a point now where we're looking at, does it still make sense to continue trying to use that piece of equipment, or can we reinvest those funds into other alternative methods to, repair our roads?
Rocca said the winter repairs are a reactive response to weather conditions. During the summer months, the city will grind it out and complete a quality patch. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Efforts over the past few years to extend the life of the Merrick landfill in North Bay are making a difference. As CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, the city marked a record low for waste collection in 2025.
Curbing the waste that ends up in the Merrick landfill is the name of the game for the city of North Bay. From limiting the number of garbage bags being picked up on the curb to expanding what materials can be placed in the blue bin.
Wrappers, plastic such as bags is a big one. Everything from dog food bags, coffee cups.
In 2025, the city marked a record low for domestic, commercial, and non-hazardous industrial materials that were sent to the Merrick landfill of 35,000 tons, continuing a year-over-year downward trend over the last half a decade.
Back in 2005, we had a life expectancy of 2029, and our latest stat show that we've extended it to 2039.
When it opened in 1995, the city recorded more than 38,000 tons disposed of at the landfill. Then in 2009, total waste had increased to more than 50,000 tons and remained above 40,000 until 2022.
The momentum of 7 years actually of clean, green, beautiful litter pickups has changed our culture. And we really are one of the cleanest cities in Canada.
Over recent years, the city has expanded recycling in public spaces and at city facilities. The city has also been recognized with Municipal Waste Association Promotion and Education Awards for its education programs. Last year, it won an award for increasing recycling in local arenas, and in 2024, city officials went into schools to teach students about the 3 R's.
The students then gave posters to the city, and we put them on our social media pages, really teaching the residents about different ways to divert.
There are more than 3 R's. There are at least 9 of them, repurpose, refurbish, rethink, recreate.
The city says it plans to continue to strengthen its waste diversion efforts, including its messaging and community outreach. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Mining giant Vale is temporarily adjusting water levels and flows across the Spanish River system. It's to support construction of its Nairn Falls Generating Station spillway replacement project. This means ice conditions could become unsafe. Affected bodies of water include Agnew Lake, which will see an accelerated drawdown of 3/4 of a foot, Ramsey Lake, not in Sudbury, but near the watershed, and Biscatacine Lake will see their levels rise by 1/2 foot. Residents are encouraged to remove ice huts before March 1st, and motorized and recreation vehicles should stay off the ice. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, though, we're heading to North Bay and a shot of Lake Nipissing. This live webcam is courtesy of the city of North Bay. It's -6 Celsius. We're back in a few minutes.
We've got winners 5 at the 5 coming up next Thursday. Sudbury 5 against the Newfoundland Rogues. Our winners this time around, Tabitha Stewart and Janelle Lorrain. Congratulations, enjoy the time. Ian Campbell and Amanda Hicks will be your hosts at the 5 game next Thursday at the Sudbury Arena. Let's check out the long weekend weather forecast. We've got some flurries in the forecast for today, ending this evening, then the chance of flurries as you'll see. And then tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies across the northeast, maybe a few flurries or so, but nothing significant. And then Sunday, we got a few flurries rolling in as well. But again, it's going to be one of those weekends, but warmer. Sudbury, Nickel Belt, cloudy tomorrow, -2. Chance of flurries on Sunday, -2. +1, Family Day. Chance of sleet, either showers or flurries. Take your pick. Tuesday, sun and cloud, +1, -2 on Wednesday, with a 60% chance of snow. So some nice temperatures over the course of the next 5 days. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly cloudy tomorrow. 0 your expected high. Chance of flurries, +1 Sunday. Chance of sleet Monday at 2. 0 Tuesday, some sun and cloud, and the chance of snow again at 60%, -2. The chance of snow, by the way, pretty well across the northeast for next Wednesday. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, mainly cloudy tomorrow, -2. Chance of flurries on Sunday, -1. +1 Family Day, chance of flurries, -3 on Tuesday. Loads of sunshine there. And Wednesday, we've got clouds, lots of cloud activity, and a -5. That low pressure system is back, and in some cases there will be the chance of snow. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, sun and cloud for tomorrow at -2. Chance of flurries on Sunday, -1. +1. Chance of sleet at 40% come Monday. So Family Day, you're either going to get showers or flurries depending on where you live, but at least some light precipitation. Tuesday, loads of sunshine, -1. Great way to start off the work week for a lot of people. And Wednesday, cloud cover and -2. Even your overnight conditions, your lows, looking pretty good for mid-February, heading into the final few weeks of the month. North Bay, West Nipissing, mainly cloudy tomorrow, -3, -1 on Sunday. Chance of flurries. Chance of sleet on Monday at +1, +1 again on Tuesday, some sun and cloud. And the chance of snow at 60%. Once again, your high around a -2, Tony. So really, a lot of people off this weekend for the next 3 days. Really no complaints about the weather. It'll be milder and the conditions quite favorable. So enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. At this hour, Sault Ste. Marie's annual Winter Carnival is getting underway. Just a few hours ago, our cameras took a look at the work going on to get ready for the opening ceremony. The machine shop in the Canal District is the site for much of today's Bonsu action. Volunteers were there early this morning, ensuring things would be ready in time for the 63rd annual Carnival. The bum slides are complete, with workers testing things out for the safety of the children. Of course, organizers say the carnival is always evolving.
We've got some great new food vendors this year, same old amazing bump slides and fireworks show. We have free skating on the rink tonight, so everyone's welcome to bring their skates down and catch whatever part of the evening from there that they'd like to. And then we have a really awesome opening night with Silent Nine inside tonight.
And fireworks start at 7:30. A full rundown of Bonsu events is posted on its website. The Winter Carnival runs until the 21st. Science North in Sudbury has opened its newest exhibit today. Phenomena explores the world of illusions. CTV's Lindsay Alick tells us more.
Pino Zappola explores his favorite element from Phenomena. The owner of Extra Museum traveled from Italy to Sudbury to bring Science North's latest exhibit to life.
It is highly interactive, which we know our visitors love, and it's a little bit different than exhibits that we brought here in the past. And so we wanted to give our visitors not just something that would get their minds going, but their bodies too. So everything in this exhibit is hands-on. They're going to get to experience all kinds of different illusions, and we hope that it ignites their curiosity for the rest of their visit at Science North.
From the Ames Room to the Mirror Maze, visitors can explore more than 20 illusions through hands-on encounters and mind-shifting moments. Visitors will discover how the principles of science can transform into sensations of wonder and surprise.
It's talking about how your perception may be fooled by these different exhibits, and explains how that works and how your brain works in order to interpret certain data that your eyes, ears, and other senses may be sending you.
I mean, it's really cool. really trippy. Like the mirrors, I would like go right into. And I mean, I think it's like the coolest thing at Science North. I wasn't expecting it. There was a lot of cool things. One of my favorite things were the mirror maze and the upside down room I thought was really cool.
Open just in time for Family Day and March break, the exhibit will see tens of thousands of visitors between now and April 30th. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
They squeaked one out. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Last night, the North Bay Battalion needed a shootout to reel in the Brampton Steelheads.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. Hockey This Week is back. My name is Rick Wyman, along with my special guest, Daryl Moxham. He is just back from Africa and is coaching, of course, the Sudbury Cubs. And the big push continues until, well, maybe mid-March, perhaps first place, and maybe another run at the playoffs for the third consecutive year. Mox, thanks for dropping by. It's been an interesting season so far. Tell me about the team.
Yeah, I mean, first off, thanks for having me, Rick. It has been an interesting season. There's no question we're off to a bit of a slow start. I think that, no excuses. Attribute a bit of that to the changing landscape we see in hockey in North America over the last 18 months or so. And quite honestly, some of the success we've had. We had a number of key guys that were, had opportunity to go elsewhere, and guys looking to jump to other leagues and some different things.
Tell me about Nolan Newton. 80 points so far, 35 and 45. He's been on a tear to lead the league in scoring. He's been your go-to guy.
I've said it on a number of occasions. I mean, since I've been here, Nolan, quite honestly, is the straw that stirs it. And, you go back to as a young 16-year-old, he was a top couple center for us and has remained in that situation. And I'm just not quite sure there's any player as good as him, maybe in the country, on both sides of the puck. That's the biggest development with Nolan. He's producing, but you can rely on him in any single situation, whether it's down 5-on-3 or up 5-on-3 or even strength.
Spencer Horgan, 4 points away from setting the all-time record for defensemen in the NOJHL. He's your quarterback, and he's doing what he has to do and making sure that puck stays out of the net.
To do what he's doing over the last 2 or 3 years, I think we were looking it up the other day on the bus. Like this record hasn't been touched since the 1980s. This is a pretty exceptional young man, and for us, more importantly, a player. His ability to read the play is just off the charts. His ability to read the play with and without the puck is again at the top of, in my opinion, the entire country. I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and right now he seems to be hitting his stride. He had some injuries in the summer, and it took him a little while to get going, but he's just found his stride. And again, he's no different than the rest of the guys that came back. They feel like they have some unfinished business, and albeit he's putting up points right now on the offensive side of the puck, but like you said, he's doing a great job defensively. And I know Spence in particular has one goal in mind, and that's the middle of May. So,
okay, with that in mind, I'll leave you with this. Do you have the horses to go all the way? I mean, you've been to the Centennial Cup the last 2 years. You're going for 3. Can you do it?
It's going to be a grind. We believe we're as deep as we've ever been, and I think this year, more importantly than ever, it's that depth is going to be critical to our success here come playoff time.
Daryl Moxham, coach of the Sudbury Cubs. Thanks for doing this. I'm Rick Wyman. Hockey This Week is back in 7 days.
Thanks for that, Rick. It was an exciting game for Troops Nation as North Bay played host to the Brampton Steelheads last night. The game ended in a shootout. Take a look at this.
One of the most dangerous shooters in the league, and he starts left as you predicted, Greg. Slowly, purposefully on the backhand, scores!
Nick Wellenreiter finding the back of the net to lift his team to the big win. It was also a big night for Carter Kuno Paskey, who scores his first OHL goal. North Bay went on to take the win, beating Brampton 3-2. In OHL action this evening, the Brampton Steelheads will be in Sudbury to take on the Wolves at 7:05, while the Sault Greyhounds head south to play the London Knights. Puck drop there is 7 p.m. And the Sudbury Cubs were victorious once again last night in the NOJHL. They sent the French River Rapids home with a 9-0 loss. And there are 4 games on tap tonight in the NOJHL. The Poisson Voodoos will host the Espanola Paper Kings, while the Iroquois Falls Storm will be looking for 2 points in Hearst against the Lumberjacks. The Storm are just 2 points out of playoff contention. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. The Kirkland Lake Gold Miners need to dig up some points this weekend to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're hosting the Timmins Rock tonight, and it'll be a battle at the border with the Sioux Eagles hosting the Sioux Thunderbirds. Both games start at 7 p.m. Partial lineup when we return. Organizers of Rock on the River in Timmins announced their Rock Night performers. You're watching First at 5. Our first community close-up comes to us from Sudbury on Sunday, February 15th. Wordstock Sudbury is hosting Reading Hour at the South End branch of the Public Library. At 11 a.m., you're invited to bring a book and enjoy a quiet hour of shared reading. At noon, there's coffee, cookies, and a community social. So just drop in. To Sault Ste. Marie, Rose Russo sent us this photograph. It's a view from her driveway at 7:50 a.m. Both the sun and moon were spotted. Thanks so much, Rose. And still in the Sioux, Ann Steinberg emailed us this photograph. She snapped this one at dusk in the city. Great picture there, Ann. Thanks again. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And finally, part of the lineup for the 10th annual Rock on the River in Timmins has been unveiled for July 24th in Hollinger Park. The Friday night rock lineup will include the punk rock icons, The Offspring, Canadian pop rock pioneers Gob, the young rock band Plush, and the hard rock band from Sudbury, Fortunate Losers. The rock night will kick off the festival, and organizers say they'll soon announce the country night lineup for Saturday, July 25th. Tickets are now on sale on the Rock on the River website. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.